I'm Mike Lanesman and welcome to another video tutorial.
This Photoshop video tutorial deals with some really exciting aspects of photography and painting with light, and then taking these images into Photoshop. Using this technique, we can create some really exciting effects. I chose a chocolate bar to paint with light. These are the images that were taken. Various areas were illuminated with the flashlight. This is called painting with light. Longer exposures were required. This was done in a darkened room. The aperture was set at f11 and 15-second exposure times were given to record these images. We now need to select all these images. Pressing Command plus A or Control A on a Windows computer selects all of these images, and we will now use some really cool tools in Bridge to open them in Photoshop. We go under the Tools menu, select the Photoshop menu and load files into Photoshop layers. This is a really incredibly smart feature of Bridge that allows each image to be loaded into its own Photoshop layer. The next step is to select all of the layers. Selecting one of the layers, then shift-clicking on the bottom layer, we need to change the layer blending modes to the blending mode called Screen. We are now able to view all of the separate layers as one composite image. However, this effect can be a lot more exciting. What we're going to do now is to simulate if we had used color gels over the flashlight in the different areas that had been painted. To do this, we need to add a hue saturation adjustment layer to each image layer. Select the first image, and we will now add an adjustment layer. An adjustment layer can be added from this icon at the bottom of the layers panel, or in fact it can be added from the adjustments panel. The Adjustments panel can be found under the Window menu, and we simply select Adjustments. Clicking on the Hue Saturation Adjustment layer adds a new Hue Saturation Adjustment layer. We now need to go and add a Hue Saturation Adjustment layer onto every image. And now the fun can begin. Let's simulate different color light sources by sliding the hue slider in various directions. To begin with, we can change it to that green hue, but this has changed the overall hue of the entire image and not of that specific photo layer relevant to where the lighting was actually illuminating the chocolate bar. In order to do this, we need to click on this icon here, which creates a clipping mask. At a clipping mask, we can see where the lighting was affecting in this area, and it has changed just that area. We head on over to the next adjustment layer and make the necessary changes, and we'll slide it in the opposite direction and add the clipping mask to clip in the lighting. Clicking on the next adjustment layer, we're going to add in a separate color and we will clip it in. We will now use the next adjustment layer and we will change the hue of that layer and create the clipping mask. And on the last layer, we will choose to create that effect and using a clipping mask to clip it in. This is a wonderful technique to make your photography more exciting and alive, and I hope it's inspired you to go out there and start painting with light, bringing them into Photoshop and having a lot of fun. Thank you.